In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a $100 million offer for your RIA while staying compliant. My name is Josh Curtin. I'm a freshman here at Penn State studying finance. And over the past year, I've been helping RIAs generate 200,000 plus impressions in under 90 days. And so in this video, we're going to go over using Hormozy's value equation to create an offer that clients can't decline, maintaining appeal to those high net worth individuals and connection without coming off as salesy, implementing this offer actually into the sales process, and then how to generate these leads to begin with. So number one, starting with the infamous value equation. So what does this actually mean? Like, how is that actually used to create value? So the main problem I see with the RAs today is that they get into wealth management thinking they're going to be helping clients manage their money. However, once they get into the field, they realize that they have to spend 4 or 5 plus hours a day just to get the clients in the first place, instead of doing what they love most, which is actually managing that money and helping them with their major life decisions. And so by understanding kind of how to actually market effectively, how to create offers that actually work, you're able to portray that value to your audience, sell them on your service, and help them in the most efficient way possible. Instead of spending hours, scraping for leads, they come to you already trusting you. They come to you already ready to buy and to work with you. And so in this video, I'm going to just break all of that down pretty much. What does this equation actually mean? Like, how do we utilize this to give value to our audience? And if you think about it, every single one of the things that you purchase takes you from where you are to where you want to be, or your dream outcome. And so that needs to be portrayed in each and every bit of your marketing, each and every bit of your copy. Basically showing them, okay, this is where you are, this is your problem, and this is where we need to be. But if they see that, they need to know that your service is actually going to take them from point A to point B. That's why you can't just say, oh, we do wealth management nowadays. We do comprehensive services. Everyone says that. You have all this cash. You don't know how to manage it. So you're just throwing it into your Vanguard. You don't really know what steps you should be taking to actually make sure that you're set for the rest of your life and that your kids are set for their lives. That's their point A. And then your point B needs to be not worrying about what their finances are, not worrying about all these different things, and understanding that they're set. Like, they can give you full control over that. They can go to you when they need help, and they're ready to go. And so painting both the end result and the perceived likelihood that your process is going to get them that result is essential. Number two would be the denominator, right? Focusing on minimizing both time delay and effort and sacrifice. And you can have all of these things in your service, but if they're not portrayed in your marketing, then there's no point, right? Because they'll notice it once they come in, but they're not going to see it, and they're not going to come in the first place. So the denominator here is what you really want to be focusing on, right? You could focus on painting the dream outcome, painting the perceived likelihood of achievement. But if you get your time delay down to as little as possible in your marketing, and your effort and sacrifice by them painted as little as possible, you're going to beat every single other competitor. And so how do you actually do this? What you want to do is say things such as, in 30 days, you'll have this full package. You'll have full access. You'll be fully onboarded. Obviously, you won't say like any guarantees such as your wealth will be fully managed, or like you'll be able to retire by this time. Obviously, you wouldn't want to say that, but putting these things out there such as, we'll deliver this entire package, full planning, full access to our team within the first 14 days of your onboarding, sets you apart immediately, while everyone else is saying like, okay, we do comprehensive planning, we do this, we do that. And then effort and sacrifice. If they have to meet with you weekly, or they have to go through this extensive onboarding process just to work with you, then they're going to be immediately pushed back. And so you want to minimize that in your marketing and really appeal to that pain. So step by step, how do we actually go about doing this? Number one mistake that I see so many people making in this space is starting out broad. If you have, let's say, under $100 million in AUM, you need to identify a niche and stick with it. Above that, like 500 range, that's when you can start kind of broadening out and targeting more people. I would say anything below that, you really want to target, you really want to specialize and be able to perform a service for one type of person. And it's kind of the reason that I do marketing for wealth management firms and not for financial firms as a whole. I could take on any private equity firm, any investment bank, but wealth management firms need my help the most. They spend the most time on their marketing. They spend the most time trying to get clients in the door. You 100% want to specialize and get your niche down to one type of person. So now you have that person in mind. Like, what is their dream outcome? What do they actually want to achieve? What problems and challenges are they facing that are stopping this? You have to list every single one. We're going to do this really quick, go through and actually create an offer for a wealth management firm. Number one, starting with the niche. So let's say in this scenario, our niche is going to be tech professionals and people who receive stock-based comp or RSUs. Stick with it. Whether it be tech professionals, whether it be doctors, whether it be lawyers, whether it be financial service workers such as bankers, etc., you want to stick with your niche. That is extremely essential. After we've identified our niche, we're going to lay out their entire dream outcome. And you can do this with me. So their dream outcome is to focus on their work, not worry about their finances and not worry about their finances and whether they'll retire on time, not worry about their RSUs and whether their stock-based comp is optimized, and basically achieve financial freedom without the stress of cash flow. And so now that we have that dream outcome, what is every single problem that they might face or that's inhibiting this? And so you're going to list, and you're going to know your niche more than I do, but you want to list based on the clients you've talked with, based on everyone you've worked with, every single problem that they face. Maybe they don't understand their RSUs. They have so much work going on. Maybe they can't make the time for their personal finances. I'm going very surface level, but you really want to lay out like 20 bullet points for every single one of these. And then after that, you're going to list every single solution that you could possibly think of for each one of these bullet points. So, for example, I'll say full RSU education breakdown. Like, that's one example. So keep in mind, when you're listing these solutions, you have done for you, do it yourself, and done with you. And then you also have one-to-one, one-to-many, and one-to-group. So often, when it comes to wealth management, we only do done with you one-to-one. But in order to provide additional value to your audience, another option you could do, though, is one-to-one or one-to-many done with you. So maybe it's education, maybe it's a quick webinar just breaking down the concepts that go into this, or maybe it's a course and they can watch it on their own time. And so providing these extra resources that literally take maybe 2 hours one time to make, you're able to provide just that much more value to your audience. But after you write down every single solution, you're going to trim and cut for the best value stack. And what does that mean? Not every single thing you think of is going to be valuable, simply put. And you need to identify the high value, low cost items and the high value, high cost items. And those are the things that you want to put into your final package. You don't want anything that's low value, low cost, or low value, high cost. And how do you identify whether it is valuable or not? You're going to go back up here to your value equation and really map it out. So your dream outcome, like, does this get them closer to their dream outcome? Their perceived likelihood of achievement, is it going to increase that or decrease it? Are they going to feel more comforted by that service that it's going to get them there? The time delay, does it decrease the amount of time they're spending? Does it decrease the amount of effort and sacrifice they're putting in there? If it can't answer each one of those questions with a yes, then cut it out because it's not high value. You need every single one of your solutions to be high value. High cost, high value, could be one-to-one consulting, one-to-one wealth management. That's why so many people just sell that. But if you can include low cost, high value items, such as creating quick videos like these, breaking down that for your audience, breaking down all of these different concepts. Maybe that could include access to their own dashboards, like so many people offer today. Um, there's infinite amount of solutions, and definitely use AI during this process. Let AI kind of think of all of the different problems. Let it brainstorm with you. Talk to your clients. See like what are the main problems that they're facing that you might not be solving, that they may have hoped you were solving with their service. And once you can paint your service as a highest value option, you become the market leader. Like there's no reason for them to go off to anyone else. But how do we actually avoid coming off as salesy during this process? Because once you add in all these different benefits, it's like, all right, now you're a little too convincing. Maybe I will just go with the comprehensive planning guy. But how do you actually go about doing this? So, number one, establish your intention internally. This is one of the biggest things. If you can demonstrate and show that you have the best intentions for your audience, they're going to choose you over everyone else every single day of the week. And the reason for that is because you are genuine and you have the best intention for them. Um, I see this all the time, like course sellers and all of those guys, like you can tell that they have selfish motivations. And I'm not telling you to just kind of put on a fake front here. I'm telling you, if you have the best intentions for your audience and you've worked with clients and you've seen how your work has done an amazing thing for them, then there's no reason you shouldn't be demonstrating that in your marketing material, and showing them how your service comes from a place of genuineness. And so kind of connects to the next point, which is to present your authenticity, not desperation. Don't go into calls thinking like, I just want to manage your money now. Like, I really just need to do this or do that. Go in thinking, how can I provide the most value to this person? How can I listen to their problems? How can I hear them out, hear what they're going through, and provide a solution to that, or provide something that's going to help out there. Um, and yet build genuine relationships by providing actual tangible value. That's exactly what I'm aiming to do in this video, by showing you guys things you can do without me actually going in to add more value to your firm, and build relationships. Like listen to these people, like I was saying, converse with them and ask like casual questions. It's not all about business. It's not all about wealth management. And that's how you can avoid being salesy. And then lastly is just like being careful with the diction that you use and the different words that you use. Like if you're throwing things out there for free, it's obviously going to come off as more salesy than just normal wording. So keep that in mind. And yeah, it's always a concern that I see come up. So how do you actually implement this? Like we can build an offer or whatever, but how do you actually transform that and make it work for you? So here's every single asset you need to make every single system. Number one is you're going to want a lead magnet. And a lead magnet is basically the same exact thing as this, except it's something that's very low cost and high value that you provide for free. And then they come in. And one of the most common ones for this is like a calculator for wealth management. But I would definitely brainstorm more. I could probably make a separate video on that, just a bunch of ideas for actual lead magnets in this space. Number two, you're gonna want a call booking workflow. We set this up for clients. It basically just reminds people like when their calls are, and then it sets up your availability so you don't have to go back and forth with emails all the time. You're gonna want a welcome package, an offer overview document, and an introduction presentation. So I'll show you guys our offer overview document. And what you're gonna want to do here is every single deliverable. So this is ours, for example. You're gonna want every single deliverable that you're giving them, their consulting structure, the process, what the onboarding phases will actually look like, and then add some bonuses and terms. And this will provide extreme clarity when it comes to your sales process without looking like super salesy. Like it's not a pitch. And then your systems. So you're gonna want client acquisition system, lead organization, I would recommend go high level for that. Follow up system, sales system, onboarding. Really make sure you have this dialed in internally because if it's not, your clients are going to come in and they'll be able to tell right away. And then communication system, fulfillment, and all of those. So, last few points, like where you actually get these leads in the first place. I understand like offering them, I understand onboarding them, but where can they actually come in? So there are only four methods to actually get leads and to get clients, and that's cold outreach, warm outreach, free content, and paid ads. Pick one, especially if you're new or especially if you're new to online marketing. Pick one, go all in on it, and see like what can you actually get. So cold outreach would be like LinkedIn DMs, or automated cold email. I personally would not recommend this for wealth management because like, what are you gonna say? Like, hey, let me manage your money. Let me get all of your life savings. Like, you really want to focus, especially on this niche, it's very high trust. So you want to focus on the things that provoke that. I would say warm outreach is good. It's kind of like cold outreach, but to people that already know you and trust you. So this could be connections you have, but it could also be people that have engaged with the content that you put out. It's a strategy we use all the time with our clients. We tell them like reach out to these people. They're liking your content. They're commenting on it maybe. They're following you, number one source of leads. Free content, this is my forte. Everything from YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn. You want to be pushing this because the more somebody sees your face, and I'm kind of being hypocritical here, probably haven't seen me in like a month or so with school, but the more people are seeing your face, the more they're going to trust you. The more content you have out there, the more time they're spending with you. And it just becomes an automatic lead generation tool. Personally, I've been low on outreach recently with school. I haven't been sending many DMs, but I still have leads coming in to where I don't have to worry about it because of the content I've pushed out on LinkedIn, on YouTube, etc. And then paid advertisement, just think it's like cold content. So once you have content out there, we're going to want to push that with ads. That's going to introduce them to your content. And then you'll be able to go in, kind of, they'll watch more, and they'll actually understand like what you do, and then they'll book a call with you. So yeah, again, if you're new to this, pick one. Don't pick five of these and try to do them all at the same time. Running ads, posting content. Why? Because you're gonna just fall in that same trap where you're spending more time on this learning curve of actually how to do it than actually helping your clients. Um, yeah, you don't want to dilute yourself at all. You want to master it and then create leverage through labor and eventually move on to the next. And then before you try labor, try AI. That's what we use a ton internally. Allows us to automate our things, and get them really solidified there. So, and then compounding interest. Uh, I put that note there. So, last point before we close out, video is by far the best way. The way I say that is because, like I was touching on earlier, I can reach thousands, hundreds, or even one of you. If you watch this video, I'm able to spend 22 plus minutes with you before you even book a call with me, right? Like, you could be watching this video while I'm just sitting at home or while I'm doing some schoolwork. Um, and you get to know who I am as a person. You get to see the value that I get to provide for my clients. And that's the only way you can do that. You can't really, and with every other method, you're going to be exerting new energy and new capital to reach new people. And think compounding interest again. You guys are all finance geniuses, so you kind of get what I'm saying here. One video post compounds on the next one, and over time, like, you just see hundreds of views, hundreds of thousands of views even, that you wouldn't have expected a year ago. So if this was helpful and you're looking to establish a content system for your firm while you take your office nap, we create content systems for RIAs that work within 2 hours of your time each month, right? You basically just sit in front of a camera every once in a while, you'll get 40 plus videos. So that's it. If you're interested, you can apply below. So looking forward to speaking with you guys.